Hey, how's it going? This is Rick Moore. Today I'm going to be showing you around my application that I built for the phase two of the software engineering program at Flatiron School. This is an app called Quizit. A while back, my wife was studying and she said, "Hey, I have this list of questions, and I would love it if you just programmed me an application to help me study. Like I can, do multiple choice and go through each of the questions that way." And I said, "That sounds fun." So I quickly wrote a program with Node.js and deployed it. I didn't use a database. I just basically seeded those 120 questions and created basically a single quiz for her that she could study with. So that was interesting to work on. As we started this phase, I wanted to create a project that kind of leveraged the tools that we were using, Sinatra and Active Record. And I thought, how cool would it be if you could actually create a quiz like that dynamically, and then share that quiz with whoever you wanted to, perhaps a teacher that wanted to create a quiz quickly for their class and then send it out to all the students and they could all take it and that teacher could get back all of the information from the how the students did on the quiz. So I started working on Quizit, and this is the product that finally came out. Now this is up on Heroku. I was able to get it deployed after some time. So I will leave the link for the actual app deployed in the description. But here I'm just running it on my local host. So let's dive right in. So it starts up to this home page. Right now I'm on logout. So it brought up a flash message because I just logged out. Let's start with just signing up a new account. About Timbo 123. Now it'll be timbo@email.com. Password of Timbo. And I do have the password confirmation there, the verification that it does match. That creates the account, and we should be good to go. So timbo@email and password Timbo. Great. So it brings us first to this home page, the My Quizzes page, and here you're able to see all of the quizzes that you have created under this account and all of the quizzes that other users or other creators have shared with you. So from here, there's a few things that we can do. We can either create our own new quiz, or we could wait for somebody to share a quiz with us. So there's a few different features. I'll try to spend a little bit of time on each one. Let's first just look at how you share a quiz with somebody. I know I have some quizzes under Bob. So we'll log in as Bob. And now Bob has a music quiz and a food quiz. So here's a quiz that Bob had created already. And since Bob is the creator of it, he is able to see these admin tools, edit quiz, the statistics, and he's able to delete the quiz. And from here, we're able to edit the user access. And this shows us who has access to this quiz. So right now we see these three emails, and we can add a user here. And I know we have that Timbo@email that we just created. So let's add him. From here, if we wanted to give administrative access to change anything in the quiz, change the questions, change the answers, or delete it, we can give them administrator access like such and just hit Save Changes. Quiz access saved, and now this person would have admin capabilities. I could also do the same for Timbo. But right now, let's just leave them not as admin. And we'll log out. Go back to Timbo. And now we see that Timbo has a quiz that he has access to, this music quiz by Bob. And if we click on it, he's only able to see the quiz. He has none of the administrative permissions. But he is able to take the quiz, so we can start it here. That loads the quiz play page. So this is rendering the questions from the database and calling the questions out into these multiple choice question cards. So the first, which is a string instrument, it's a tuba, definitely a string instrument. All right. And which key has 3 sharps? This is another type of question that I'll get to a little bit later. It's a multiple choice, but there are multiple correct answers. So 2 of these answers are correct. It's A major and F sharp minor. Now, in this case, they came up at the top, but they don't always. These are shuffled. In fact, if I just reloaded the page, you'll notice that they shuffle each time. So tuba, and they ended up at the top again, which is pretty funny. And then drums are part of which family? Let's say percussion. So we have some wrong answers and some right answers. We'll click submit, and it gives us our score. So let's go into the grading system a little bit. When you take a quiz, it'll give you a score at the top, and then it'll go through each question. And if the question only has 1 correct answer, then it'll tell you whether you got the answer right or wrong. If you got it incorrect, then it'll give you the list of the correct answers. Now, this question was special because it does have multiple correct answers, but it only displayed 1 of those correct answers. So it was either violin, guitar, or cello. And I'll get a little bit later how to do that when we create a new quiz. But each time I take this quiz, I would get a different option, either violin, guitar, or cello, and then randomly generated incorrect answers. So this quiz would be different every time I took it. So I couldn't just memorize the, say, 4 answers that were put in there. This one was that multiple choice with multiple correct answers, and we ended up with a score of 2 out of 2. Now, if I missed one of these and I selected something else, then I would get 1 point for the correct answer, and I wouldn't lose that 1 point for a wrong answer. Now, if I selected 3 and I got 2 of them correct and 1 wrong, then it would subtract 1 point for that wrong answer. So, for example, if I went back and I got these correct, say A major, F sharp minor, but then I also selected C major, and I submitted my answers. Now it says the question is wrong, even though I got the 2 correct answers, and I got deducted 1 point for that incorrect answer. And then it tells me which answers were actually correct. So you have to get every correct answer and no extras. So you can't just click every single answer and get a full score on that. If I also selected less than, if I only selected A major and not F sharp minor, then I would also get 1 point because I'm missing 1 of the correct answers. And then the others are just 1 single correct answer, so there's not a whole lot of logic behind the grading. So that's taking a quiz. So if you have access to a quiz, or if a quiz is public, then you are able to take a quiz. I don't have any quizzes that I've created here, but if I go into my public, I think there's one in entertainment. This was a quiz that I made earlier, and this is a public quiz. So I have access to this public quiz, even though I wasn't granted access. So you can set that up when you create a new quiz. Speaking of creating a new quiz, let's get into that. So you can start a quiz from scratch. Here, every quiz does need a title. Let's just call this a really amazing quiz. And this is like the best quiz you will ever take. Have fun. All right, and let's do pop culture as a category. And why not, let's make it public. Okay. So from here, we have a few choices about the type of questions that we want to make. So I'll kind of go through each one. The first is just multiple choice with 1 correct answer. So if we select this is your basic, there's 1 correct answer and a number of wrong answers, and so it's worth 1 point. Let's do which of these is a vegetable? My favorite pop culture type question. Let's say celery is a vegetable, and I'm going to call that a correct answer. Let's also do a blueberry, not a vegetable. And if you want to add an answer to your question, you just add an answer. If you decide that you don't want that many answers, and you just remove one by deleting it, like so. What else? A steak, my favorite vegetable, and I don't know, milk. All right, so we have one correct answer and 3 wrong answers. Now, something we do have the option of doing is adding comments to these. Another little feature that I added in. So you just click add comment, and when this question is selected, then on the results page, it'll give this comment. So if you want to explain why the answer was correct or incorrect, yes, that is a vegetable. And then blueberry, not quite. Close though. We still want to be encouraging, right? All right, steak. Okay, really? That's not a vegetable. And then milk. Okay. I'll take it. Not really true. That's still going to be marked incorrect. And we always want to take a look here at the total answer choices at the end of our question. That's going to decide how the question works. So I'm giving it, at this point, I'm giving it 1 correct answer and 3 incorrect answers. If I wanted to just, if I wanted to maybe put in more incorrect answers and have it randomly select from those incorrect answers, I could do that. I could add, say, 3 more answers, but then set my total answer choices to 4. So it's still only going to display 4. It would take all of these wrong answers, select 3 of them, and then shuffle that with the 1 correct answer, and it would go from there. But in this case, we just want the 4 questions. This answer choices will automatically grow or shrink based on the number of questions and what's selected as correct or incorrect. So this question is looking good. And from this point, we can add another question. So moving on to question 2. The second type of question has the same question type, which is 1 correct answer. But like I said, you can put in multiple correct answers and have it select one of those answers to display when you take the test. So in this case, we could say, I don't know, which of these is a Ninja Turtle, for example. And go Leonardo, that is correct. Donatello, that is correct. Michelangelo, is that how you spell Michelangelo? I don't know, I spell Michelangelo. Raphael, those don't look right. But we're going to call those correct answers. We'll leave the comments off for this one. And then we're going to add some wrong answers. Shredder, April O'Neil, Neil, I don't know. Splinter, and I don't know, George. All right. So notice that our total answer choices is 5. So the reason for that is that we have 4 correct answers selected. It's the type of question is just a 1 correct answer type. So it's going to pick one of those 4 as the correct answer, and then it's going to shuffle our 4 wrong answers in with that for a total of 5 answer choices. So if I were to select more right answers, then it's only going to select one of those random right answers, and the total answer choices is going to have to go down. So we'll see how this question works once we take the test, but it's going to take only one of the 4 Ninja Turtles and then mix it with these non-Ninja Turtles. So you'll have to pick that one random. That makes it so each time you take the quiz, the questions can be different each time, so you can't just get used to it. And then finally, we have one final question, and that could be many correct answers. So in this case, we can select as many correct answers as we want, and each of those correct answers will be displayed. And we can set the number of incorrect answers to be displayed with our question limit, or with our answer limit. So here let's do like which of these are Beatles? I seem to be going for the 4-member teams today. And that's George, Ringo, John, and Paul. And these are all correct. And then let's add some incorrect answers. Say 4 incorrect answers. And we'll do like, I don't know, David Bowie and Michelangelo. Like Freddie Mercury. And, Dan. All right. So with this one, we have 8 total answers. 4 of them are marked as correct, and our type is many correct answers. So it's going to display each of those, and each of the incorrect answers also giving us a total answer choices of 8. If we wanted to have less incorrect answers, we could lower that there. But at this point, we can complete our quiz. Also, there are validations here. If I left an answer blank like that, then it would ask me to put it back in. If I also say on was it the first one? If I forgot to put a correct answer in this question and hit complete quiz, it's going to say, oh, all questions must have at least 1 correct answer, and make me go back and say, oh, this one I forgot to put a correct answer, so it is celery. And let's complete our quiz. Great, so it passed validation, and it's created our quiz under Timbo. So at this point, we can take it or we can share it with somebody. So we can do that just for fun. If I went in and edited the user access, let's give access to Turklo. Add user. All right. If I wanted to make myself an admin, I could do that as well. And then I would be able to change it. So let's log out. We'll go back over to Turklo. And we see a really amazing quiz by Timbo. So I'm able to take it here. And let's see what it looks like if I was to take it. So remember, we put in 4 total answers, and we got 4 total answers back. So we know that that is celery. Actually, let's answer this wrong. Let's say milk, because that's for steak. So the second one, remember, we had 8 answers, but we said there's only 1 correct answer. So it's only going to pick 1, which in this case ended up being Leonardo, and 4 the incorrect answers that were there. So we know that that's Leonardo. Which of these or Beatles? So in this one, it was multiple correct answers. So it used all of our correct answers. So we got all 4, Ringo, Paul. Let's say that I didn't get it completely right. I said Ringo, Paul, George, and Michelangelo. And we'll submit the quiz. All right, I did just find a quick bug. I had to go and fix that, but everything seems to be working now. Okay, so we have our score of 66 point, of 2/3 essentially. And then each question card does get a score. If it was just a single correct answer, then it's out of 1. If it's a multi-correct answer, then it's out of the total number of correct answers. So our comment did come through here. We got this incorrect. The correct answer was celery. On this one, we did get the answer correct. There were 4 possible correct answers, and then the incorrect answers, and we got the right one. We got Leonardo. That was worth 1 point. And this one did the multi-correct answer questions do use a little bit more of an algorithm. So in this case, it's 4 correct answers. We got 3 of them correct, but we only selected 4, so it gave us the 3 points for those 3. If we had only selected 3, it still would have given us 3 points, so we're not getting docked a point for the incorrect answer. If we had selected 5, then we would get docked a point for the incorrect answer. But it does tell us the correct answers. And we can return home. At this point, because we just took the quiz, it will show up in our quiz history. I think this is probably going to show that I just took it a whole bunch of times. It does show that because I resubmitted it when I was fixing that bug. But this is a full history of all the quizzes that I have taken. And I can return back here. On that same note, I was made an admin, so I'm actually able to look at my quiz statistics, and this will tell me all of the times that this quiz has been taken and an average score and the number of people that have taken it. So as either an admin or an author, I'm able to keep track of the scores on the quizzes. The last thing that we can do is edit. Since I am an admin, I do have edit capabilities, and the edit page is fully functional. It will show all of the comments that were put in originally. It'll show all the questions and all the answers. If I wanted to come in and just delete a couple of these wrong answers, for example, then I can do that. If I wanted to just delete, and now there's only 2 answers here, it'll the answer limit will stay correct, and I can update if I did everything correctly. Great, and it says that it was updated, and the questions will reflect those changes that I just made if I try to take it again. If I try to submit my answers here, it'll yell at me, which is good. I've worked quite a bit to try to make the validations work across the entire platform. And that is just about it. I maybe missed a few features. But those are the basics of creating and editing. If I decided that I did not want a quiz, I can always just delete it as long as I am an admin, and it'll successfully delete. If I wanted to go back and I believe I had an account that was just quick, is that right? Yes. So this was just a test account that I made, and if I feel like I don't want this account anymore, I'm able to go in and delete using those settings. User successfully deleted, and it redirects me back to my home page. So that's about it. Like I said, I do have this app deployed on Heroku, so I will leave the link for the Heroku deployment in the comments. I'll also leave my GitHub repo there if you want to clone the repo and install it on your machine. The directions will all be there, as well as some more documentation on the usage of creating quizzes and such. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a great day, and see you later.